Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Football Commenters. Welcome back to another episode, and it's a new week. It's me, Simon, and my co-host Darius. What's up?
What's up? Well, I feel great to be back. What about you?
Yeah, I feel good, man. Hey, how's your week been?
So far so good.
So far, so good, right?
Yeah.
So this week we are going to share about some new stuff, especially what's going on in EPL this week, and also some FES news and also some new signings. So take it away, Darius. What's up this week?
So we're gonna talk about the SPL first,
Yeah.
right? The Singapore
Yeah.
Premier League. So let's take back to the last episode because I think Maxim took it personally when you called it out and said that Shawana replaced him off the bench and did better than him.
Yeah, I know.
Maxim Lestin, first ever hat trick for Lion City Sailors.
Man, that was good. It really just shows the quality of what he is, man. And you know, from that game where he played terribly, and then suddenly next game he scored 3 goals, or rather the Young Lions game he scored 3 goals, and then you know he really got his first hat trick. Man,
Exactly.
That was an amazing game.
I really think he took it personally if you watched our video.
Yeah.
But Simon, so with him being his first ever hat trick for Lion City Sailors, do you actually know when was his first ever hat trick? Or sorry, not first ever hat trick, but his last hat trick that he has got? Because we all know he's a man of doubles, he's a man of assists, right?
Correct.
But do you know when was his last hat trick for professional football?
Wow, that should be quite some time ago. I think it should be somewhere in Europe when he's playing in Belgium or something.
Okay. You want to try and give a year?
Maybe 2017, 2018, about there.
Right. So his last hat trick for professional football came in 2012.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
In September 23rd.
Okay.
It was in the Belgian First Division. He was still playing for Club Brugge.
Yeah.
And it came against Cercle Brugge.
Wow.
That was his first ever hat trick for professional football, as well as the last one prior to the Lion City Sailors. So that would make the game against the Young Lions his second ever hat trick.
Wow. And I think it's all this possible is because not maybe he heard our podcast, maybe not, but I also think that it's because of the new coach as well that came in. If you missed the news, we got a new coach that was announced last week, right? Alexander Rankovic, and you know he's coming in, he's putting his new philosophy in, and you can see the way he's playing, and I think that's what's helping Maxim Lestin to get his hat trick lah.
I think that's just amazing. I mean, Maxim has been so close to getting his hat trick, and finally he breaks that kind of wouldn't call it a curse because he's been just playing marvelous in the games, but he's always been scoring doubles, and he in that game against the Young Lions, the first half was a bit slow.
Correct.
We can't deny about that, but the second half. So the first half we had Adam Swandi missing, I think, two couple sitters. Diego missed one. I think Lionel also had a good chance.
Yeah.
But in the second half, Maxim Lestin just wore
destroy it, man.
He was like, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah. So with the hat trick, is he now the league top scorer?
Oh yes, he is. I think almost there.
Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a league top scorer. You might want to check on that. But looking at his performances for LCS, he's been doing amazing this season with his passing as assists, and you know. I don't know about you, but I think that this would be very, very good, especially as we are making our way towards the ACL next season, because you know we are in the group stage of the ACL, and it's going to be our only season in the ACL because 2025 onwards we are in the AFC Cup, right? So I don't know about you, but how do you think Maxim Lestin will perform in ACL?
I mean, I think he'll perform good. I mean, no doubt about that. I think that's what we lack slightly from the last campaign.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we have to. Okay, so Alexander Rankovic just came in.
Yeah.
That we can't deny. And it's just been, this is his second game in charge.
Yes, correct.
Right? So for me, it's more of still remembering the last season.
Yeah.
Right after Coach Kim left and
correct.
Coach Luka was in charge. So I just checked as well. So Maxim is at the moment the leading goal scorer for the
SPL.
The SPL. But so he's actually 2 goals ahead of Taniguchi playing for Balestier, who's also been in pretty decent form. So Maxim has got 18.
Yeah.
Taniguchi is at 16, followed by Boris Kopitovic at 14.
Yeah. Oh wow. Wow, that's a good goal scoring assist record, and I think his form came at a good time because our next few games are very tough. We have DPMM coming up, we have Albirex, and we also have Tampines. I think his goal scoring form with the new coach and also the new signings coming in is going to give us a good title fight right to the wire.
So with that, do you actually remember, or do you want to give a guess on who was the last player to score a hat trick for our club?
Oh, that was wow.
Just a wild guess.
Just a wild guess. I don't tell me it's Kim Shin-wook. I remember
it is Kim Shin-wook. So yes, Kim Shin-wook actually hit 2 hat tricks.
Yeah.
The last hat trick he hit for was against Aokang.
Yes.
Last year.
Yeah.
It was the second game after Coach Kim's sacking.
Yeah, the 8-5 or something.
It was 9-4 at Aokang.
9-4. Yeah.
So, and before that was the 110 against Young Lions.
Correct.
Where he also scored a hat trick. The other 3 players who had doubles was Maxim Lestin, Song Yong, and Gabriel Craig, all scoring 2 goals, and Kim Shin-wook with 3 goals.
Wow, that's quite some time though. So
it's actually I bring this up as well because it's exactly the same timeline as our current situation, which is we had a coach sacking, and right now 2 games into a new coach. So back then it was Luca. It was 2 exact same kind of formats. We're winning comfortably.
Yeah.
And now Maxim has hit a hat trick. So this is the same scenario.
But would you think that this would be a constant thing moving forward, or only for this period of time? Because you look at our past few games, they're all quite high scoring, right? Like the previous game and the Young Lions, Young Lions game and the Tanjong Pagar game. Moving forward, where we have tougher games, would you expect to see such score lines or something more realistic?
That's exactly why I bring up as well, which is I'm also crossing my fingers about this because right after that we went on I think a 4-game loss streak. Only to we drew 1 and I think we lost 2 or 3, which is right now it's the same scenario. In fact, almost the same clubs, just in a different. Correct. It was Young Lions first and Aokang. Right now it's Aokang first and Young Lions.
Yeah.
And we have DPMM next week.
Correct. But I feel that Rankovic is defensively more sound compared to what we had last year in Luka Lalic, because Luka Lalic was so attacking first, whereas Rankovic, you can see that there is some defensiveness coming in, and also with the new signings like Bailey Wright and so on coming into the defense, it should show up our defense. Speaking of which, we are only announcing this because it has been confirmed, so that's why. All right,
we only comment on things.
Yes,
confirmed.
Yes. So with Bailey Wright coming in, with Lionel Tan and No Adam, I think we should have a more defensive, more solid defense compared to what we had last year.
Yeah, we're gonna have Super as well.
Yes, we have Super as well, right? For the ACL and so on. So looking at it, I'm quite excited to see what Rankovic is doing, because our team is doing well right now. Yes, we are still not the top of the SPL, but we are playing good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back. Bailey Wright.
Yeah.
First impressions. We've had the interview released on the Lion City Sailors website, which you can check his first interview out.
Yeah.
Simon, what are your thoughts about our new signing?
I think it's a good signing. It just shows the intent that we want to push football to the next level. You know, for me, I'm not a Sunderland fan to be fair, but Bailey Wright is the type of player the league needs. If you look at LCS right now, we have Maxim Lestin, we have Diego Lopez, we have Bailey Wright. Right, with this type of players, you can improve the quality of the league.
Yep.
Especially with what happens after that SEA Games debacle. We need players like these to really increase the intensity, improve our player quality, but more importantly, to at least give a good showing in Asia, in the ACL, because we might face good Korean teams, good Japanese teams, right?
Yep.
With signings like this, we at least have a chance. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's at one of the greatest stage of his career. A bit more on, he just played in the Qatar World Cup last year as well. And he at a very great age for a centre back, at a good age of 30.
Yeah.
With great experience from Australia. And I think he's really here to make a genuine impact.
Yeah.
I doubt it's really just because of the money, because I've watched this interview and I really, really think that he's here to cultivate the younger players. He's here to cultivate Singapore football in general. And like, I mean, for him to leave his comfort zone of England, because I watched this interview and he's been in England for his whole life.
Yeah, correct.
And he's Australian as well. So to kind of move away from that just to play in Singapore he has a 2 years contract
plus a 1 year option.
Plus one year option. It's a bit surprising really. It's a bit surprising that he would make this decision if not for the genuine impact that I think that he really wants to make.
I actually think that it's a very good move from LCS as well, because looking at Bailey Wright, you look at his resume.
Yep.
You know, he has played in the Championship, he has played in League One. Yes, it's not Premier League, but it's still miles ahead of the Singapore Premier League.
Yep.
Right? He has the solidarity, he has the leadership, he has the way he wants to reach out to the community and the people, you know. I think that this is the type of players we need, especially with the younger players coming through. They will look up to him as the leader of the locker room, you know, leading the defense and so on.
Yep.
And what makes it interesting as well, imagine if Pedro Enrique was back, right? A Bailey, Enrique, or maybe a Super Lino three-man defense would be very, very good for ACL. So I think Bailey is actually acts more than just defensive solidarity, but his leadership and his experience in English football will really, really help the club.
I think it's a great point that you bring this up, which is our squad depth, which is a point that I actually brought up on the last time, which is now we have Super, we have Lionel Tan, we have when Pedro Enrique comes back, and as well now Bailey Wright.
Yeah.
So that's actually four great defenders.
Correct.
And of course Anu and Haris Harun can play in that position as well.
Correct.
Which with this, Haris Harun doesn't have to play centre back anymore.
Yes.
He can play on his more comfortable role of central defending mid.
Correct.
Rotating with Anu.
Correct.
So with this, I think Vankovic has made a great kind of statement to say that, hey, if we have one of our best defenders out injured, no worries. I still have two backup defenders.
Correct.
Heck, I even still have Lionel Tan to throw him there for local.
Correct.
And I think, like what you said, that defense right now with Bailey Wright coming in, I feel way much more secure.
Yeah.
And with like Zafan just pulling out the saves.
Correct.
I think.
And this is only the back line. We still haven't confirmed the signings for the striker or the midfielder yet, which I think will be add even more quality and to our midfield and our attack as well. This we are sending a statement. I think our objective now is right in the league. We are trying to confirm all the signings as fast as we can. Right, when we meet Albrechts, we give them our best shot. Right, this is our only chance because looking at it right now, if we have Bailey Wright and we have the two new signings coming in, if we don't beat Albrechts, it will be a tough ACL for us. If we can send a statement by beating Albrechts, right, and then when we go to ACL, we have a chance to perform and do well.
Yep. So correct me if I'm wrong, but so for our strikers right now, right, Abdul Razak is.
He was injured the previous game. He lived out.
So he's how old is he right now?
If I'm early 20s.
Early 20s, right?
Yeah.
So he has came back from Young Lions, right?
Correct.
So
he's doing really well in LCS.
He's doing
by the way.
really well. So if we bring in another striker, how does that put Razak on the board again? Because we also have Kodai Tanaka.
Correct.
So that will push him even further back.
Correct.
What are your thoughts about it?
But I don't know about Kodai now because Kodai is still rehabbing from his injury that's happening and so on. So if we bring a striker, you know, we would definitely play more like Razak as a backup because Razak's speed, size, and experience would benefit from learning from the new guy. Or if we want to go aggressive, we can play a two-man striker lineup with it will still work well because we still have Shawal to actually as a reserve striker if we need to, right? But looking at it, you know, I'm not sure how this will affect Kodai, but I got this feeling that if the new guy does well, Kodai's place might be in jeopardy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough for him to have that season-ending injury. He was playing so well up to the Albirex game. I think scoring in the first 2 matches as well.
Correct.
But right now, if he comes back, I still think that he will retain his place because Razak's been doing fantastic. But Razak's age and experience, right? Unfortunately, I think that he's not at the level where I can say he can play in and out.
Correct.
And especially like he picked up the injury last week as well, right? Sorry, this week, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking when Kodai comes back, if they do not plan to change the striker option, it will still be Kodai. But I'm thinking our wings has still to be Maxim Lestienne and I think Shawan Anwar because that Maxim assist was just so beautiful.
Correct. We still have Hafiz Noor. We still have Christian Verhuizen who can run up and down the wings as well. And at worst, you can have Noor Adam as well. So we still have some options.
We definitely still have some options. But that's what I would like to see for our, strike three that I know that, they can play week in, week out and they have quality.
Yeah.
But we do need to sign another striking option because like this season, right? When Kodai went out injured.
Correct.
We're only lucky that Razak has been doing so amazingly and he's able to perform in Kodai's absence.
Yeah.
But we need to actually have proper backup signing that has quality.
Yes, not Bernie, right? Right. Speaking of which, he with the rumored new striker signing, there's definitely Bernie might most likely be leaving the club.
Just rumored.
Right, but I do agree on your point that we need to sign a backup striker. So if we were to go local because of our foreign slot being taken up, who would you choose as your backup striker?
This is a hard choice. I would say Khairul Amri.
Okay,
but I mean it's just a bias on my point. I really like Khairul Amri as a striker, even though I don't think that's not the right option. I would love to see him in LCS jersey.
Correct.
It would just make up that Lions 12 format again.
I would actually want to see Amy Reka though.
Okay.
Amy Reka would be a good choice. One thing good is that he brings the experience. He can score goals. So if in fact he could sometimes even start the game ahead of Razak. So I think Amy Reka and Razak would be a good local striker combination that we could have. Right, that would actually be at depth, at length, and know that if we go play overseas in Europe, that Amy Reka could get the job done. Right, but obviously, this is what the more realistic that we have right now.
So I do need double check and confirm again, but Kodai still has a few more months off his leg, or is he back in training already? Right?
The last I saw that he's starting his rehab. There were pictures released by LCS that he was doing some gym work or something like that. And so he's starting his.
So we're
rehab.
hoping he gets back in time for ACL and of course the start of next season.
But so looking at our squad right now, if let's say Pedro were to come back, Kodai were to come back, who will be registered for ACL next year? Because it's a 5+1.
There's 3+1 this season or 5+1 for the ACL?
ACL next season is 5+1.
ACL next season is 5+1.
Yes. Right, looking at the signings coming in.
Diego Maxim for sure. With Bailey Wright coming in, I think it's for sure he's going for it.
Yep.
Super. And I think it's if Kodai can make it, it'll be Kodai. Because there won't be a big point to get Pedro back.
Okay, so then where would the other striker be then? That rumored striker signing.
If that rumored striker signing does come in, and when it does come in, it's and it will be a great signing, then I think that Kodai wouldn't be starting. Yeah.
Because for me, I would, of course, Max Diego, for sure. Bailey Wright. I would think that the Portuguese midfielder that's rumored to be signing will come in, right? Because he will add some depth in the midfield that is sorely needed, right? Some European experience, if I remember correctly, right? And also I think he will do well, and the rumored striker, right? This will actually help our midfield. So like that, you have a good core, and maybe Pedro Henrique to show up the defense against stronger sides of the Koreans or the Japanese. You know, he has the height, he has the speed, he has the left-footedness, but also he has the strength to battle with them.
Okay, sorry. So I got that wrong. So it's 5+1 Asian players. So Kodai will be the +1. So
but Bailey Wright is Asian as well. Because
Australia counts as Asian.
Yes. Australia is counted as Asian. That's why we got Aussie players, because they are counted as Asian slots. Right. So people like Bernie, people like Bailey Wright, people like Kodai, they are all counted as Asian slots. Of course, they can use them for the foreign slots as well if you want to, but you will rather keep the foreign slots for countries like Brazil or the Europeans, and your Asian slots you can use for the Japanese or Koreans and so on and so forth.
All right. So that's correct, right? So if Kodai doesn't make it in, that means that Bailey Wright takes up that +1 Asian slot.
Correct.
So we have Super.
Yep.
We have Diego Lopez, Max Celestine,
the rumored striker,
and rumored Portuguese player. Yeah, then that's correct lah.
Yes.
Then that makes more sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if they don't have the Portuguese player, they might put maybe Pedro Henrique or something like that. Right?
What's the update on his injury?
He just passed the yo-yo test a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Right. So you know, it's the start of something new. Right.
He has to the end of the season to get prepared, which I think he will. I think he's a great, fantastic professional. I think he will definitely bounce back from this.
Yeah, but looking at squad right now, what do you think? Coming to a tail end of our games in this SPL season, how do you think moving forward? Are you confident that we can win the title?
Once again, my fingers are crossed.
Yeah,
it feels like a mesh of the 2021 season and last season as well. Like the 2020-2021 and the last season, like it feels like a mesh because we're going into such a close race against Albrechts where any game decides it.
Correct.
And we're also in the same exact scenario as we were last season. So my fingers are crossed, but
correct.
As a fan and as commentator, it'll be good to see that Alexander Rankovic can just come in and do magic.
Yes. Well, he says that he will try his best, but no magic will be done though, right?
I hope the magic comes.
Right. Speaking of tail end seasons, right? We one thing that I'm very excited about is next season's SPL because there are rumors that Geylang is getting privatized, and then Tampines is going to be a club that is linked to a Thai club, something like the RB Leipzig style model.
So get Cheng Rovers.
Yeah, something like that, or Bangkok United, or Tampines Thailand United, or something like that, right? Whatever it is. But looking at it, if that too does work out, we could have a 4-team title fight next season.
So you got DPM.
No, not DPM.
Albrechts.
LCS, Geylang, Tampines.
So what happened to DPMMs?
I honestly think that
you retracted that statement.
Yeah, I retracted that statement. Right. Of course they did well yesterday against Albrechts, that 1-1 draw, but I don't think that they will have the quality to really challenge for a title next season. Right. Look at LCS, look at how Albrechts is playing, look at Tampines right now. They're doing amazing stuff, and if Geylang get privatized, it's going to be very, very competitive. But it's a good sign that it will actually improve our league as a whole. Yeah, and I think that's very, very important. As the SPL season is coming to a close, we can see that this season the three horse races, Tampines, LCS and Albrechts is actually good for the league because you can see that the quality of players are improving, the games are getting exciting, right? Albrechts is going for it. Lion City Sailors with all the money throwing it at it, and Tampines just is playing good football. Yeah, and then you have your middle of your table, your Geylang, and was it Balestier or whatever, right? The fourth and fifth placings, and then you have the rest of the group. The table is slowly closing up, I feel, right? And next season will be much, much more interesting.
I mean, which I agree with you. But coming back to it, we have this flow in the league, which is great for the league. But it comes back again to, I mean, we talked about it last week, but the Young Lions project, if we see week in, week out that they are doing well.
Yeah.
I don't deny that. But are they really doing enough?
So that's why I feel like, they are playing for the sake of playing, right?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, they are not good enough.
Yep.
Right. I would rather that these players to be brought back to their clubs, trained properly, and and really improve their skills rather than just playing and losing games. Playing and losing games doesn't help.
Yeah.
Right. You know what? We need to improve our quality of young players that are coming through. Right. Yes, national service is important, which is true, but I feel that Young Lions is a lost cause. Yep. We should really send this under 23 players either to their clubs to bring. We should disband it, then separate, disperse all the young players to all the clubs, let them train, let them improve, and also eventually get game time. Yep. Or secondly, bring them up to the Singapore Football League, one tier below, let them have game time against other teams, right? If they can do well from there, then they can slowly come up and move their way through.
That's an interesting point, to set up a second league.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of more of like the women's league as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So where we have a division like under you're saying like under 23.
Yeah, correct.
Under 23 league, right? But do we have enough players to field that under 23?
So we need to think about it, and we need to look at the pool of players, how many people are coming through, right? So, but comparing to our neighbours, our players are not there yet.
For sure.
This pool of under 23 players, you've seen what happened in the Southeast Asian Games. Mismanagement from the top level, no preparation, and lack of technical skills and experience of these players is causing us to lose our prestige in the world, which is why I felt, and this just me, right, that Southeast Asia should have an under 23 ASEAN Super League, because it would benefit all the young players by giving them a game time, right? Intensity, travel, and once they hit 23, 24, they'll be filtered back to the leagues, which will improve the quality of the leagues. Give them good quality players that are coming through and it will gradually make ASEAN football much better.
So just the thoughts on the Super League, which is the costing from each club to go ahead and do the Super League.
Yeah.
It has to be time and effort.
Actually, in 2017, this idea came about.
Yep.
Right. This is just a hypothetical idea, but if it does happen, it doesn't require the league. All you need to do is just pull your best under 23 national teams, play in this league, that they have game time, and then once they reach the age, the original clubs that had already signed them, they will just be filtered back to those clubs to play.
Yeah, which comes back to it. So the costing for this, so you need to find the location.
Correct.
So let's say you get ASEAN teams, right? Let's say one team's from Thailand, one from Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Where are the teams going to play is one issue. To fly the teams over is another issue.
Yeah.
So I feel there are a lot of, even though I think it's a great idea that they'll be able to get lots of game time, lots of preparation for like SEA Games and everything, but it's very difficult for
correct
for
but it's a good starting point.
It's a good starting point.
And here's the most embarrassing part: if someone like me who's on a podcast can come up with an idea like this, what in the world is FAS doing? Right?
I mean, as much of backlash that I give them, like a lot of things need to be accounted for, like the costing and a lot of like to fly out players. So I once again feel that it takes a bit. It should be a starting point. Correct. As long as the idea comes about it, it definitely can.
But this is just a hypothetical idea. They're not going to do a Super League. This is just my suggestion. So FAS, if you hear this out, right, please go discuss with stakeholders and go discuss with the other ASEAN team countries. Let's do something for our under 23, not in Singapore but in Southeast Asia as a whole. Right. And speaking on that note, our next episode, we're going to talk about what's happening in Singapore football from the release of the FAS message that was released a couple of days ago, right? So on that note, check out on our next episode. on our thoughts on FAS, what Singapore football entails, and how the future looks like. And on that note, it's us from the Football Commenters. See you guys on the next episode. All right, peace.